resolutions and just making them on January 1st is not enough. I do not agree with making resolutions one time at the beginning of the year because much like Tom, Dick, and Sue over at LA Fitness crowding up my gym, crowding up the cardio area, by February, you're going to realize that you're sad and alone and you're going to quit your membership, and then the entire year goes by the wayside.
And you believe that one can be both refined and ratchet?
Oh, absolutely. I'll show you how it's done. Who you calling ratchet?
What's up? What's up, y'all, and welcome to another episode of Blah Blah Blog. It's your girl Marsha, aka Dulce, author of Baggage Claim, a life story, available on mmdulce.com as well as on Amazon. You guys, take advantage. I am definitely giving you 6 chapters of this beauty for the FREE, so go ahead and indulge, because what better price than free 99? At any rate, let's go ahead and get into today's topic. I already know it is time for a new year, okay? We done opened up all of our presents, we spread the holiday cheer, we complained about our stimulus is not being here on time. Seriously, anybody got word on that? It's cool. And now it's time to talk about resolutions, right? Let me tell you why resolutions and just making them on January 1st is not enough. I do not agree with making resolutions one time at the beginning of the year because much like Tom, Dick, and Sue over at LA Fitness crowding up my gym, crowding up the cardio area, by February, you're gonna realize that you're sad and alone and you're gonna quit your membership, and then the entire year goes by the wayside. Or you'll be like I was back in 2018 when I first said that I was gonna go vegan and I fell off after March. Look, it's not enough to just create a resolution and think, boom, that's it, success is mine. It's not even enough to create a cute little vision board. It's cute, don't get me wrong. I think there is a beautiful power to vision boards because there is a manifestation practice going on there where you know, get the little pieces and put your little nice little Tesla on there, and you and your Camry is still gonna be sitting in the same place if you don't do things differently. It's not enough to just create the vision board. It's not enough to just say, this is my New Year's resolution for 2021. This is what you need. This is what I've been doing for the last 2 years, and it has changed the trajectory of my life. I have been able to see a lot of my goals checked the hell off, and it is simply this: get an accountability partner. Yes, you guys have probably heard me if you're already subscribed to the channel, which
Sister, brother, non-binary person, mermaid, whatever you are, squirrel. Why ain't you subscribed?
What is he doing? All right, fix that. You go ahead and do that. Like the video while you're here. Leave a comment down below. But if you're on this channel, you have heard me reference accountability before. I've talked to you guys about my love, Crystal, over at the Cash Compass, which, by the way, perfect opportunity to plug my good friend because she has a very, very educational channel, easy to understand. When it comes to wealth, a lot of us have New Year's resolutions around money and finances. We want to save more, spend less, earn more money. If you are interested in learning about wealth, learning about finances, and learning a little bit about the economy and the BS that we really don't know about, and if we did know about it, we'd be riding a little more than we're doing right now. Make sure you head over to the Cash Compass YouTube channel. She is doing her thing over there. She has taught me so much about finances, but I'm not going to talk too much about that. But Crystal is my accountability partner. We started this, I believe, 2 years ago. So this is the 2nd year that we've done this, and we are entering our 3rd season of accountability, and we have plans for it to be better. So what is an accountability partner? Not everyone can be your accountability partner, and honestly, it's really hard to pinpoint who can be a good accountability partner. So I'm going to tell you what one really looks like. But this is why resolutions aren't enough. Oftentimes, the reason why a lot of resolutions fail is because, well, no one's holding you accountable to them. Once, you know, the May flowers bring spring showers. What's the saying? April shower bring May flowers, resolutions be a poofing. They be gone, okay? You forget all about what you said you were gonna do at the beginning of the year. When you have an accountability partner, the way you set up your system is supposed to reflect the resolutions you had set up in the beginning of the year and carry you through all the way to the end. So this is what Crystal and I do. Crystal and I have a meeting every single week on Wednesday at 12 noon. We do it for an hour. We spend the first 30 minutes talking about her goals, and then the other 30 minutes talking about my goals in no particular order. So what we'll do each meeting is we'll talk about the goals that we have as they pertain to our resolutions. And I'll get to the kind of format that you should kind of follow if you're going to do this with someone. But essentially, our goals tie in with our resolutions, and because we meet weekly, we talk about our progress. So week 1 in January, we'll talk about how the previous week went, regardless of the fact that we have big meetings at the end of the year to kind of talk about what we want, the next year's goals to look like. We always have mini goals that we always reflect on and kind of check our progress on. So in this little book right here, I'll record both my goals and her goals every single week. I'll go back and look at the prior week and kind of check off what was done, what wasn't done, and we'll have a very honest conversation about it. Speaking of honest conversations, it's really important that you pick someone that is really responsible. There are a lot of people that don't take their own goals seriously, let alone give a damn about what you do. And so it's very important you find someone that's kind of near your level in terms of like ambition and the will and desire to really do something and carry it out. Crystal and I are very serious about achieving our goals, and we are even more happy to talk about how each other is doing as we progress towards reaching our own goals. So it's really, really helpful, because if I say that I'm going to read 3 chapters, she's going to be like, so what happened with the chapter reading? We're going to have a conversation about what went wrong. It's so good because it reminds us weekly we have goals, we have things we want to do. Honestly, if you can't carve out an hour of your time to organize your week's efforts, to think about what you're doing, especially as it pertains to the huge goals you set at the beginning of the year, then why are you celebrating? Put the booze down, put the champagne down. You don't need to be celebrating because you're not serious about accomplishing your goals. This is not for the weak-hearted. This is not for the lazy, and this is not for the person that thinks they don't have to work towards their goals. We work very hard to make our goals happen, and sometimes when we have these conversations, we're not exactly happy or proud about our, prior week's progress, but it feels really good, and it's incredibly motivating to have someone to kind of answer to, someone to kind of hold you to the fire and be like, didn't you say you were going to do this? When I was writing my book, I remember I told Crystal that I was going to write 2 chapters. I didn't get to it, and so when we had our meeting the next week, I told her, yeah, girl, things got crazy, you know how it is, or whatever, because we're very understanding. But I was like, this time I'm gonna write 4 chapters. I love Crystal's honesty, because that's another thing that's very important. Crystal is honest enough to, and accountable enough as a partner to say, but sis, you struggle doing 2 in 1 week. What makes you think you're gonna write 4? Especially because I let Crystal in on my goals. She kind of understands more about the process behind achieving certain goals. She knows that for a writer, it's not really that easy to just say you'll be able to whip out 4 chapters. Sometimes you just have a creative burnout. So I really, really love and appreciate, and am just so grateful for having her as a partner, because it really helps me stay on top of it and honestly be real with myself, because sometimes we do set very outlandish goals for ourselves, and it's very helpful to have an accountability partner tell you, you sure you're not putting on too much? So that's essentially what we'll do. So on a weekly basis, on the calendar portion of this planner, we will also record hours and subs that we both earn, since we're both YouTube creators. And it's been so rewarding because Crystal definitely reached monetization. I saw her as she made her way there, and we celebrated together. And it's just another intimate way to share in your friend's journey. So when you're looking for an accountability partner, you want to think, okay, who is going to really help me in reaching my goals? And it's not to say that they're doing actual things to help you get things checked off your list, but they're going to care about what you want to get done. They're going to be responsible and hold you accountable for what you said you were going to get done. They're going to ask and genuinely be intrigued with your progress, and they're going to be willing to just be patient with you and understanding, because sometimes you don't have good weeks. Now, with that, yes, there is a lot of understanding and compassion, because we are, working adults. Crystal's a mom, I'm a grad student. We have to make allowance for certain things, but it's so important that you have someone that is really about their business, because at the end of the day, you have goals that want to be completed. So the past 2 years have been super rewarding for Crystal and I. We are so excited. This year, we actually did not miss a single accountability meeting, and that is amazing, especially because this was not the best year for me. I mean, there were some weeks I had to just say survive. Honestly, I'm not gonna put anything. I'm gonna drink water.
We track certain things like how often we went to the gym, how often she stretched, doing certain things for school or work credit, certain little tasks like, okay, I need to go return my clothes, make sure I do this by next week.
It is good because there's so many times we have a goal for the week and then we lose sight of it because nothing is really demanding or commanding us to, well, did you do it? Well, did you do it? So an accountability partner is amazing. So again, think about who you have in your circle that's really responsible, that has the same level of desire and ambition and will to do things as you, and think about a day in the week that works for you, an hour that you guys can carve out where no matter what, this meeting is happening. You have to take it seriously. Me and Crystal do not play about our 12 o'clock meetings, but everyone around us kind of knows Wednesday at 12, don't talk to us, don't text us. We're having this conversation because we take our goals very seriously. So for the upcoming year of 2021, our accountability partnership hits season 3 and we're taking it to another level. So one thing we like to do are quarter meetings. So every quarter of the year, we reflect on our overarching goals, essentially our resolutions from the beginning of the year, and we talk about our progress. So I believe it was this summer, our summer quarter meeting, we realized, whoa, there's some things on here we really weren't paying attention to. The 2 things that were on my resolution list were under self-care, and it was definitely to take care of my hair because I wanted to see a lot of growth and retention, and to also just do things for me. So I wrote down that I would take myself on dates, and I looked back and I was so amazed. Here we are just 6 months or so into the year, and I saw that I was already, with this accountability partnership in place, forgetting about important things that we said in the beginning we would take care of. From that point on, I stepped up my self-care regimen and my hair goals, and I made sure to include them in our weekly meetings. Even with an accountability partnership where we meet weekly, we lost sight of certain things just because we weren't paying attention to our overall goals. So the first thing we do when we set ourselves up for the year is we'll write down our resolutions. So for example, we'll categorize our resolutions like I would have finances, school, health, and potentially like self-care or something like that, right? I'll separate those categories and put micro goals under there. So under health, for example, I'm going to put keep up gym 2 to 3 times a week. Food and diet wise, I plan to do a more whole foods diet, minimizing my processed food intake to just weekends or something like that, and so on and so forth. Under school, I'll probably put each semester maintain a 4.0 GPA, and maybe under finances, I'll put something like stick to allotted budget, have a savings goal of XYZ for the year. So once we figure out our overarching goals for 2021, we'll have a conversation about it after celebrating our previous year's goals. We're gonna have a conversation about what we imagine for ourselves in the year 2021. I think that's very important when it comes to the manifestation process. It's one thing to write the vision down, it's another thing to speak about it and speak in faith about it, especially with someone that's about to work just as hard as you are at achieving their goals. It's super inspiring. There has been many weeks I have heard Crystal tell me about how great she did, and it made me only want to match her effort and greatness and her energy, because she does put a lot of energy into these meetings. So hopefully you can think of someone that would give you that same energy, because it's so inspiring. What we plan to do in this upcoming season, we're gonna keep it up with the weekly meetings, except instead of just quarterly meetings, we are gonna have monthly meetings where we reflect on those overarching goals and assess how well we're staying on target with those. Because that's one thing I wish we would have done this year, because we had to wait until a quarter meeting to realize, ooh, you remember you said you were gonna do that? How come it hasn't been on the list these weeks? Because honestly, you can have so many overarching, goals or so many categories that you don't even realize you're not keeping up with them as much as you thought you were. So I think it's gonna be such a good thing to have a monthly meeting on top of our weekly meetings. So that essentially means we'll meet about 4 to 5 times a month, depending on the way the days fall, because we meet on Wednesdays. Then we're gonna have an extra meeting at the end of the month. So that basically means if we do 4 times 12, y'all know I don't do math. There's usually 4 weeks in a month, so let's just say we're gonna meet 4 times 12 plus 12, because we're gonna have a monthly meeting. We are gonna have 60 meetings. I am thrilled. I am so excited, because I truly do feel like 2021 is going to be a year where we accomplish every single thing we say we want to accomplish. That is the power of having an accountability partner, baby. It is not enough to just have a partner though. You yourself have to be ambitious. You have to have desires for yourself. You have to want more for yourself. You can't expect the other person to carry you and want more for your life than you want for yourself. So definitely keep that in mind. So guys, I'm not trying to throw shade at your little vision board party, okay? I love me a sangria and a poster board party, okay? But all I'm saying is that is not enough, okay? What are you gonna do with that vision board? What are you gonna do to make sure that those goals that you put into picture mode on that poster actually come into fruition? I don't know where I would have been if it wasn't for this partnership. I don't think 95% of what I said I wanted to accomplish would have gotten done without accountability from not just myself, but from my partner on a weekly basis. All right, so just a quick recap. Find an accountability partner that has the will to actually hold you accountable, that's responsible, that actually has goals of their own that they want to reach, that can actually make time and stick to a time to meet with you. Arrange that you guys meet weekly. I'm also going to say go ahead and do that monthly meeting as well. What you want to do again, start off with your overarching goals. Think about what you want to accomplish by the year's end. Break them up into different categories and then think about how you want to see that goal actualized by making little micro goals under there. Then have your weekly meetings and certainly have your monthly meetings to check on your progress. Be honest with each other, be compassionate, but hold each other accountable. That's super important. It's not enough to just do a vision board party, and it's not enough to just say, here's my New Year's resolution. You have to hold yourself accountable. And what better way to do that than to have a partner on the journey with you trying to achieve greatness? It is so important to link up with your sisters, queens supporting queens. There's nothing more empowering than that. I am a living testament. I am so thankful for Crystal. Again, please check out her YouTube channel because she has a lot of amazing resources and will help you on your path to being a better person in 2021, especially if you want to get your money up, because that's what she's about. That's all for me, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm wishing everyone a prosperous new year. Hopefully you have your goals written down. Hopefully you have someone to kind of hold you accountable. If you don't, definitely at least make sure you set up a system for yourself where you check yourself every week. If you can't find nobody, be your own best friend, be your own accountability partner, but set that time aside. Make it important. If you don't make the time, you just not gonna make it, period. Until next time, you guys, be refined, be ratchet, be you, and find yourself an accountability partner.